So guys, today is the BNI Premier Knowledge Series Season 2, where we're starting off with the first episode. And he is a man, I would not say he's a wild guy, but I would say he's a man in the wild. And that's why, his name is Mayuresh Hendre, and he calls himself the man into the wild, where he actually is an avid photographer. He's a guy who stays in the jungle. He understands the jungle beats. He understands the jungle vibes, and he's also a person who loves staying in the jungle. And only a passionate person like him, could do what he does by actually waiting for a bird or an animal for hours in one shot to take one perfect shot. Because what happens is it's not easy to capture, especially wildlife, whether it be plants, whether it be leaves, whether it be insects, whether it be reptiles, whether it be birds, whether it be domestic animals, whether it be wild animals. So it's an art. It's only a passionate guy who can do it, and we have got amongst us Mayuresh Hendre. So welcome, Mayuresh, for this
Thank you.
first episode of BNI Premier Knowledge Series, and really thank you for this lovely time that you're giving us today, where we can actually understand from you, what is it that for somebody to get into the wild and capture things in the wild, how easy or how difficult it is, and what is it that we need to look at in the jungle? Because generally, when people go into the jungle, people look at either a lion or a tiger, but there's more to those things than just lions and tigers.
Yes.
So the whole idea is, Mayuresh, can you just give a nice introduction about yourself and the
Yes.
passion that you have? Just share something with us, so then we can take it from here.
Yes. Thank you very much. Actually, the entire BNI team and Hari sir for the lovely introduction and for the opportunity to present to you about my work. So I'll just introduce myself. I am Mayuresh Hendre, and I have been working as a wildlife photographer and a naturalist since past 2 years. But as a hobby and as a passion, I have been following this since 2013. Since I was in my college years, I was following this passion, and I since childhood actually I was attracted to birds and animals, and as I used to go in the backyard or to ancestral home, I used to climb the roof of that house, go over there and see birds, observe birds. And later, after I came to Mumbai, I took a small digicam which my dad gave me, and I started taking pictures everywhere of butterflies, insects. And as I went to BMM, that is in 2013, I joined mass media from St. Xavier's College. And that's where the proper introduction to photography happened. And then I got a DSLR camera, and I started going everywhere in India. Basically, I wanted to see the tiger first because everyone is fascinated by that big cat. And I went to the Sundarbans to see the tiger there, but I did not see the tiger there. And I was surprised with what I saw there. The entire the system or the day that went there was completely different. The sun used to rise quite early in the morning at around 4 in the morning, and it set at 5. So everything was new to me at that time, and I saw a lot of birds there. And as I came back to Mumbai, I decided to see birds because they were easily available. They are around everywhere as you go. So that's how the journey started. So you see the picture here on the screen. This is a kingfisher. This is known as the Oriental dwarf kingfisher, and that bird is actually a very small kingfisher, and it's found in Mumbai itself. And this photograph is taken in the Sanjay Gandhi National Park.
Wow.
So it's actually, we have a lot of wildlife around us. We just don't know about it. So we just have to maybe take interest, and as we take interest, as we go into the jungles, as we try to explore, we'll understand more and more things. And that's what actually interested me and took me in, and that's why I am here doing what I love.
Fantastic. So that means you have covered quite a bit of Mumbai first, I would say,
Yes.
before covering the rest of India with
Yes.
our international national parks. So in India itself, there are some six, I think, around 6 or 7 big national parks, wildlife
So
national
there
parks.
are actually 500 wildlife sanctuaries, and
Wow.
500 wildlife sanctuaries, and I think I don't know exact number, 120 national parks in India.
Really? Is that the
Yes,
number?
yes,
Boss,
yes.
then I'm totally mistaken by saying six. I'm a person
Yes,
who has no clue. That means it's very clear. But but
yes.
so tell me your journey. Like, so from Mumbai, you have covered unique stuff which people generally on a day-to-day basis would not see. What is that one thing which struck you in Mumbai?
So I really, really love Mumbai as a city because yes, it has the rush, it has the chaos, it has the people, the population is quite high, everything is there. But along with that, we have small green spaces as well. Like we have the Sanjay Gandhi National Park, which is one of the green reserves and one of the national parks which is in the middle of the city. In Nairobi, in Kenya, they have a national park which is in the city, and after that it is Mumbai, one of the cities in India which has a national park within city limits. So that is actually like the green lung of our city, and it gives us the air that we breathe. The rains that we receive are also somewhat because of the national park, and that is a place where you can like vanish into nature in a few like hours drive, or maybe half an hour. Or for me, I live in Thane. It is just a 15 minutes drive to the Yeur range of SGNP.
Absolutely, I
So
agree.
yes, so you have nature around there. So you just so that's why I love this city. And the journey started from there. I used to go to the Sanjay Gandhi National Park, which was my backyard, and also the wetlands, that is the mangroves of Mumbai. So we have some mangroves in Airoli, then we have mangroves in Thane here, as well as near Bhandup and Vikhroli region. So there are some places where you can go and observe mangrove birds and also insects and other species like
But
flamingos for that matter.
how difficult or easy it is to go into the
It's
mangrove
quite
and
easy.
capture? Yeah, it's
It's
easy.
quite
And
easy.
how deep is it?
No, so if you want to go inside the mangroves, then there are now Thane Creek has been declared as a flamingo sanctuary, and during winters, that is now from November onwards, you will have flamingos coming in here. And as flamingos come here, there are small boats which go inside the creeks. So you can hop onto that boat, and then you can explore the creek area, and you can see flamingos and a lot of wetland
Yes,
birds there,
I agree.
ducks and a lot of other birds. Or
Absolutely.
there are small lakes, like in Bhandup, there is a pumping station. You
Okay.
can go there and you can observe the birds coming there. So it's not a very difficult task. You
So
just
basically, where there's a water body, you will find a lot of
yeah,
birds coming in there.
yes, yes.
Okay.
Even near
What about the
Navi
Powai Lake?
Mumbai, yes, Powai Lake also, but Powai Lake, it's quite big and it's deep. So
Right.
for the birds, it is very difficult for them to come and sit there. So you will find them in shallow areas like mud flats.
Right.
So you have Sivri mud flats,
Right.
or you have in Navi Mumbai, you have a TS Chanakya Nehru area
Right.
where you have these mud flats where a lot of flamingos come.
So from Mumbai, then, which was the first outside Mumbai location that you captured?
So the first was Sundarbans.
Right.
That was in 2012 December that I went to the Sundarbans, and that was a completely life-changing experience for me, I would say,
I'm sure.
because I had been to other places, but not for wildlife, and that was a lot far from the city. And when I went there, I was living on an island. First of all, reaching that island was like a 3 hours boat ride. So after that, I reached that island, and on that island there was a village, but there was no electricity. And the camp that we were staying, uh, it had a generator, and only for 2 hours in a day they would put that generator on,
Wow.
just so that they will cook their food or they will do their things, and we also can charge our batteries or anything
Right.
like that.
Right. Right.
So. So completely taken back by the life, but I knew what I was getting into. So the main reason was to go and see the wildlife there.
Okay.
So also it was not a jeep safari in the Sundarbans, because Sundarbans is a mangrove, a water, like everywhere there is water and there are islands, and you take a small country boat and you go into the mangroves and look for wildlife.
Okay.
So that's how it started. We went into the Sundarbans early morning on the boat, and it was quite difficult to approach the animals because they would go inside the mangroves. They would only come outside when it was low tide. So that was the only time you can actually observe nature or wildlife, wild animal activity there.
So what is the type
So
of wildlife that you captured over there?
it was kingfishers, a lot of kingfishers, because I think around 9 types. We have 12 types of kingfishers in India. Around 9 types can be seen there.
Wow.
Then spotted deer. Then we have monkeys like the rhesus macaques. A lot of otters, jackals. These animals I could see there,
Right.
and I captured them. The main reason was to see the swamp tiger,
Right.
but that is I did not know at that time, but it is one of the impossible things to do.
Okay.
So getting that swamp tiger. So once I came back, I was a bit disappointed, but I got to know that there are so many birds, just not just big animals.
Right.
So I could follow the birds
Right.
when I was back here in Mumbai. And in Thane also there was a Thane Creek, so that was quite close to my house. SGNP was quite close to my house, and I ventured there to capture some photographs.
So in your whole journey, like, what prompted you to get into hardcore wildlife photography? Generally what happens is that most of the parents say that, now you study, you become an engineer, doctor, or become something else, right? So what prompted you to get into this field and, follow your passion? How
So
well did they receive it?
yes, actually, the same thing with me as well, because I was doing BMM. That was actually a different path altogether, because I had secured good marks during my 12th examinations. I had taken science there, so they parents all wanted me to pursue engineering or pursue medical at that point of time. But for me, even like that was not the path I wanted to take. I wanted to do something creative. So I was looking for that, and then I found this course that is BMM, and I applied everywhere. I gave the exam in St. Xavier's as well, and I got through there. So that was the start of the journey. I wanted to not just like photography was not the passion at that time. It started with that. So
Right.
something creative, something different, which will make you happy was the main point.
Right.
So once I went there, filmmaking and photography is what really interested me. And I started making short films during college time, and started participating in festivals. I also was good at art. So
Right.
that's what I was doing.
Wow.
And then not so I thought, yeah, art is great, but I don't see any future there to like make money out of that. So why not do something which is a art but different art?
Right.
So photography came into my mind, and because of the friends there as well, then the journey of photography started during the college time. One of my friend and me started a company, and we were making videos. We were making videos for corporates, and I started working with him. But along with that, I was doing wildlife photography. So I was working with him in Mumbai for quite some time. But then I was like, no, I'm not getting the satisfaction that I need. It is too much because it was advertising genre production house, and it was odd hours of work.
Right.
And I was not getting the satisfaction. I knew that I was only getting satisfaction out of nature and wildlife. So what would be the best way to approach this? So there are two ways. You can become a wildlife photographer or a filmmaker, or you can become a naturalist.
Right.
So
what is
wildlife
an naturalist?
photographer, there is everyone is doing photography actually now, because
Right.
you have phones, you have cameras, technology has become easier. So
Right.
everyone is doing that. Yes, I want to go towards that. That is the ultimate aim. But the way to be close to nature and get paid by doing that is actually becoming a naturalist. So what is a naturalist? A naturalist is like a person who is a bridge between nature and man or humans. So if people want to know about nature, the naturalist is a person who would tell them about that. So now, as tourism has increased in India, and especially nature-based tourism has increased, we have so many national parks, safaris happen, and there are other properties also where you can just go and see birds or some other animals. So there are people who are looking for these people who can actually manage these properties, manage like talk about nature, tell the people who are visiting, the guests, the tourists about nature. That is the main role of naturalist, to know about nature, talk about that, maybe document that as well, and then communicate that with the guests or the tourists that are there. So that was a very unique career option, and it attracted me, and I took a leap and I went to Assam and I started working there on a cruise ship.
Okay.
Started working there. I because Northeast India was a part that always attracted me. And why would I not get attracted? Look at the pictures here. You can see the waterfalls. This is from Meghalaya. So I the opportunity was in Assam on a cruise ship on the Brahmaputra River, and I had to live on the cruise for the 7 days. I was completely stationed on the cruise, and every week there will be new guests which will come. They will experience Assam through the journey of the cruise, and the wildlife was also part of that journey. So it was a luxury cruise on the Brahmaputra, and nature-based tourism was the part.
How deep is Brahmaputra then?
Brahmaputra is like the depth changes everywhere.
Right.
It is shallow in a lot of places.
Right.
The cruise ship required 7 feet of draft, only 7 feet. Okay. It was a big ship, but still it required 7 feet. And in some places, the Brahmaputra is actually 2 or 3 feet. And in some places, it is around 90 meters deep.
Wow.
So, yeah, it is quite a river. It is quite a massive river. You will have to experience that river. It is very difficult to tell about the river or just talk about the river or Correct. Just show pictures. Like this is just one picture of the Brahmaputra. Wow. And you can see here, this is a sand island. So everywhere these sand islands come up and a river goes. In some places there is river. It is not like a river that we have imagined. It's not just water. There are a lot of islands in between, sand islands, which will always come, like they will appear, disappear. It's a constant process of change that happens there.
Right. Absolutely. Naturally, it also depends on the different types of seasons. So you'll get to see the islands filled with water, and then again it's dry.
Yes.
So when you did all these trips, actually, so where are the lions, or where are the tigers, or where are the birds? So you have like north, south, east, west regions of India, and each region has got a particular area which is saturated with a type of an animal where that animal is there on its own majority. So how do you divide India, into the different animals or birds, if you look at it? How do you divide it?
Yeah, so we divide India depending on the habitat that is found. So every habitat will have different type of animals. So it will be an ecosystem. So we have the Himalayas, we have the Western Ghats, then we have like the coastal region, or we have the Central India region. So Central India is known for tigers. It is like the tiger capital of our country. Right. We have North India, also like Rajasthan, which is northwestern India. It is dry region, deserts. So desert is a habitat. We have different animals there. So we divide the entire country into different habitats. We are one of the most biodiverse countries in the world, actually. And we have 4 biodiversity hotspots. So we have the Eastern Himalayas. We have the Sunda land, that is Andaman and Nicobar Islands. We have the Western Ghats, which is from Mumbai down south Kerala. We have the mountain range, the UNESCO World Heritage Site. And we have the Indo-Burma hotspot, which is a corridor between India and Myanmar. So these are the places where these are hotspots, biodiversity hotspots. Some animals that are found there are not found anywhere else in the world.
Wow.
So you can only see them there.
So that means
Or
that the amount of international tourists traveling to these spots are maximum.
yes, yes. And Central India is the main attractor of all the. Everyone comes to see tigers. So tiger tourism is the main revenue generation in wildlife or nature-based tourism. And after that, now a lot of other tourism has come into play. Like we have bird-based tourism. So people who want to see birds, people like me will want to see all the birds that are found in India, or some people want to see all the birds that are found in the world.
Right.
So they will go to a particular country where they want to see that particular country's birds. So Northeast India is known for the Himalayan birds and some very endemic and colorful birds that are found there. So people will go for a birding trip. They want to see those birds. People will see them, they can photograph them. So this kind of tourism has also started. Then we have like leopards, not just tigers, we have leopards.
Right.
So we in Rajasthan, we have a small reserve called Jhalna, which is just, I think, around 3 kilometers away from the Jaipur airport. And there you have around 40 leopards. And it's safari goes, and you can see that those leopards there. It's wild. It's not like SGNP where you have like a tiger which is caged. But in our SGNP also we have more than 40 leopards, wild leopards living. So in South India we have leopards, and we have a black panther, which is like a leopard itself, but it is a melanistic version of the leopard, which is like a completely black colored leopard. So that can be seen there. So now
Mayuresh, can I interrupt?
is aware about
Can I interrupt, Mayuresh?
Yes,
Sorry.
yes.
Hi, my name is Foram. You
Yes.
mentioned leopards, so I understand that leopards are very, very elusive creatures. How do you actually go to spot them?
So it depends on the places. Like in Mumbai, the leopards are very elusive. They will not come out when the humans are around. Only in the night they will come out. But if you go to Rajasthan in that reserve called Jhalna, or if you go to south in Kabini National Park, the leopards have become accustomed to the tourist vehicles which come there. And they will move around in the forest. As we take our vehicle into the forest, in the path, if we we have like signs of the leopards, like the pug marks, or we have scratch marks somewhere on the tree, or we get a calling. Like you have to not just see the jungle, you have to listen to the jungle. So when you go inside a forest, you listen to the bird calls, you listen to the langur calls, monkey calls, you listen to the deer, that is the spotted deer, and the sambar calls. And these calls are actually guiding you or telling you where the predator is. So the predators in the forest are the big cats, like the tigers, the leopards, or even other animals like the wild dogs, hyenas for that matter. So they will guide you, or there will be territories of these animals where they will be stationed, or they will be like in that particular territory. They will be moving around, they will protect that territory. So that's how you go and check for that. The guides there or the naturalists there are the ones who can take you inside the park within the jeep safaris, and you can see these leopards.
So most of these parks, when you go, just hold on 1 minute. You just mute Mitaiwala. Mitaiwala, can you mute yourself, please? Yeah. Okay. So just wanted to tell you that when you're going to these parks, most of the times it's either a jeep which you take and go, or is it there is any other mode of going and actually checking out this stuff?
So there are two ways. The places where you have a safari, that is a jeep safari. So there is an open gypsy, a jeep, Mahindra. Most of the times it is the Mahindra ones which have been always been used. So it is an open jeep, and you sit in that jeep and go inside the park. It is a 4x4. So you go on to these tracks, and then you look for the wild animals, or you can go by walking. So the places where there are no big predators, or there is very less sign of them, then you can go walking and see these animals or birds. So in national parks, usually like or Kaziranga, you have jeep safaris, and you can go inside the park using a jeep.
Right.
In some places, till now there is elephant safari, but it is getting like less, or it is being banned because of like cruelty to animals or something like that. So elephant safaris still are there in Kaziranga, and I think it is one of the best experience. The elephants there are treated very well, and I have experienced that. Like if you see here, this grassland here, Kaziranga is a very big grassland. So traversing that is only possible using an elephant, which can go into this grass. So if you go on the elephant safari, you can go inside the grass in the morning and you can see the rhinos up close.
Wow, that's
But
beautiful.
you can also do jeep safari, which is a little later, and you can go onto the track which is there in the parks. There are tracks, and you can drive onto this. Like the park will have these safari vehicles. They have a driver specified, and they have a guide or a forest guard. And then you book that safari. You go inside the park using that.
So,
But there are places where you can just walk or just take a cycle as well. Like there is Bharatpur, which is a bird sanctuary in Rajasthan.
right.
And there you can go onto in the park using a cycle.
Wow. Forum, you wanted to ask a question, Forum?
Yes, yes. Mayuresh, recently in February this year, I had been to South Africa to Imphalosi Park, and there I got an experience of actually staying in the park and then walking around the park. Of course, there were rangers. So, is there that kind of a facility available in India where one can actually stay inside the park in any of the parks?
Yes, there are a lot of like these kind of facilities. These are government facilities which are inside the national parks. Like in Corbett, you will have that. In Tadoba, you will have a MTDC resort, which is close to the park. You can walk around in a certain limit, not more. I am actually now going to Corbett National Park, where there is a new camp which they are starting. It is a luxury tented camp, and you can stay there inside the forest in the core area, and you can just go around that particular area. There will be a boundary limit where you can go walk or something like that, which will be safe. So you can experience that. Obviously, there will be forest guards and rangers there. So these things are still coming into India. They are not so common like Africa is common, because Africa is completely different terrain altogether. The major wildlife that tourism that happens there is in the grassland region. So in the grassland, it's quite it's easier than compared to the forests that we have. Yes.
We lost you, Mayuresh.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Now
Can
you
you?
can hear you. Yeah, now we can hear you.
Yeah, so in Africa, you have grasslands, and it is easier compared to India. So in India, we have forests everywhere, and the grasslands that we have are completely different than the African savanna. So still we are working out, or we are trying to get this kind of experiences in India. But there are some experiences where you can go and stay inside the forest, and there are camps, or there are homestays, or there are some properties inside the forest. Like Karnataka, you have this brand which is working with the government of Karnataka called Jungle Lodges and Resorts, JLR, and they have these properties everywhere in Karnataka.
Yes, there are almost like 15, 16 properties in jungle
Yes.
lodges in Karnataka.
But
Yes.
there's also a
Yes.
place called as Nagarhole National
Yes.
Park, Karnataka.
Yeah, Nagarhole and Kabini.
Yeah.
So you have there also you have the jungle lodge. So that is where you see the leopards
Right.
and even tiger.
So when you cover these shots, so would you want to just take us through a presentation about the type of photography that you have done?
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, I was working in Northeast India for past 2 years. So the main region that I was working in was Kaziranga National Park. So I had ample of opportunity to photograph the biodiversity there. So this photograph is a part of Kaziranga. It's the grassland. This grass is tall, as tall as elephants, actually taller than the elephants. So elephants, if they go inside this grass, they will vanish in a matter of seconds. So when we go for the elephant safari also, we would be sitting on top of the elephant. You can see the other person sitting on top of the elephant, but you might not see the back of the elephant. So it is that tall, the grass there.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult to see the animals there.
Mayuresh,
But there are places where you can see these animals.
Mayuresh, sorry. When you actually describe these photographs, if you don't mind, because would you also please describe the f-stop and the shutter speed and the ISO at which they have been taken, if you don't mind?
Yes, I can for some photos, but it
Yes, please.
would be difficult because it will be completely yes. So as I move ahead, I will show some rows of the at that time. So sometimes you can see Himalayas from Kaziranga National Park. So if you see here, there is the Himalayan range, that is the Eastern Himalayas. So these are hills, or these are the ranges of Arunachal Pradesh, which can be seen from Assam sometimes if it is clear. So you can imagine the clarity of air. So during the lockdown, I think you must have seen some posts where people were seeing Himalayas from Punjab or somewhere like that. But in Assam or in Northeast India, it is not polluted. It is one of the pristine places in India, still untouched. And it is so beautiful that sometimes so clear. And now we come to the star of Kaziranga. Hello. I think, can you hear me?
Yeah. We can hear you. Right. You had gone off.
So you can see the. Yeah. So you can see the star of Kaziranga here, the one-horned rhino. So it is known for the one-horned rhino. We have 2/3 of the one-horned rhino population in India, and most of them are in Kaziranga National Park. Around 2,400 of them, more than that, can be seen in Kaziranga National Park itself. So they are an endangered species. Earlier there were just like 40 or so, but because of the conservation measures, now you can see a lot of rhinos there. They are known as the unicorns, and they have like a armor plated skin. You can see, I'll show you a photograph of the skin. So they love to like wallow in the mud, and they will sleep in the mud, and they love that water. So here is a mother and a baby sleeping in the mud, and this rhino here is actually charging at a vehicle. So you must have heard rhinos charge at vehicles or charge at people. Absolutely. So yes, it is true, but the reason for that is they have a very poor eyesight, and because of that they cannot really perceive a threat. And sometimes just to test, or just if they feel they are threatened, they might charge. So this one was about to charge, but it did not charge. It sniffed the air, and then it thought that, oh, it's not any threat, and then it moved on its way. And usually they are very calm creatures. They are just grazing around. They're herbivorous. So I was actually lucky to document this mating of rhinos. And you can see here the male has mounted on the female. And this act actually like happens for 4 to 5 hours continuously. They are standing in this position, just moving around a little bit. So I was quite lucky to document that there. That happens in February, which is their mating season.
Fantastic.
Then
tell me one thing now.
Yes.
When you're covering these rhinos, do you generally write a story about the rhinos, the pattern of the type of food that they eat, the type of sleeping pattern that they have, so on and so forth?
So as a naturalist, what I do is my role is to explain everything to the guests that come there.
Correct.
So I have presentations before we go to that park. I will have a presentation about that place, about what you can expect there, what you can see there. I will give them information about the rhinos, everything, and all the animals that are seen there. And then when I go with them, I also show them that. I explain the behavior there, what they are doing there. And that's what the entire role is. But when I have taken these photographs, I want to publish them somewhere, I want to post them somewhere, then I will definitely put out a description about what the animal is doing there, or how I captured this photograph, or what were the settings that were involved when I was taking that photograph.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So you can see these rhinos grazing. So they are herbivorous, and you have some birds sitting on top of the rhinos. They are egrets, are bagra or bagula. So these ones are actually taking off the ticks from their body. So you must have seen these ox peckers in
Yes. Yes.
Africa.
That's right.
Yeah. So it's similar here. We have mynas. We have these egrets which sit on the rhinos, follow them. They take off the insects, ticks. They help the rhinos, and they get a free ride. So that's how it works there. So I was talking about the armor plated thing. So if you can see here, you can see how the skin folds are of the body.
Yeah.
It looks like a armor plating. Each and every part is separate, and it looks like a armor plated giant. So then I also captured them in different lights. So sunrise was the time when we used to go inside the park. So I captured that with the sunrise as well. So we have a sunrise here with a mother and a very young baby, which is like a 2 months old baby. And the baby actually stays with the rhino mother for 3 to 4 years. And so that's a very young baby which was following the mother. And the sunrise was happening there. And the second photo is actually of the sunset. The sun is going down and the rhino is there. And this is the habitat. So you see the rhino is a very big animal, but the habitat, the grassland actually dwarfs the animal. Because the grass is so tall, the rhino gets dwarfed completely. And it is a wetland ecosystem, so you have water everywhere, and they love water, so they will be around that, they will be grazing in that. And if you look at this picture carefully in the sky there are ranges at the back. So I was quite lucky. This phenomena actually happens only once or twice a year.
I didn't hear you. What was that?
So the Himalayan mountains of Arunachal Pradesh can be seen in the picture here. And that happens only like once or twice a year when the sky is clear. So I was quite lucky to get the rhino in the background, like in the foreground with the Himalayas in the background. So that is a very like a rare picture.
Mayuresh, in this picture, the rhino doesn't have a horn. Is it because of poaching or what?
No. It has a horn. It's a small horn. So the rhinos in India have not a very prominent horn like African rhinos. They have very big and prominent horns. The Indian rhinos will not have such prominent horns. The males might have big horns, but usually they are flatter or in a triangular shape, not in a very conical shape of a horn. So the first one that I showed you had a big horn. I think so. Yeah, even in this picture, you can see the male has a very big horn. The female has a smaller horn. So usually the females have small horns.
Right. So, the first one you showed me had a very long horn.
Yeah. Yes. And along with the rhinos, we have big five. So total of big five can be seen. Like Africa has the big five. India also has big five, and that can be seen in Kaziranga National Park. So the big five here are rhinos. Then we have wild water buffaloes. So these are buffaloes, but they are wild and they have very, very massive horns. So they have the biggest of horns or longest of horns in any of the bovine species. That is the cow family species, wild cow family species. So they have very big horns, you can see. They can go up to 2 meters in length.
And do they attack?
Yeah, they are the one which are dangerous, but they also will not attack. If they get threatened or they feel any danger, then they will definitely attack. So out of the big five, the most dangerous, I think, is the elephant. After that, we have the wild water buffalo. Then we have the rhino. The least dangerous is the tiger.
Is it really?
Yes.
He's dangerous. Wow.
It
Okay,
is.
that's breaking news over here.
Yes. So they will always give signs. The tigers will always give signs. They will not attack without a reason. They don't want to waste their energies. But these animals, they feel threatened. They feel uncomfortable. Then they can charge at you and attack you. In this picture, you have an elephant. The elephant is a tusker. It is a very big elephant, actually around 20 feet tall. But it has been dwarfed by the habitat of Kaziranga. It is so dense there. It is actually on the bank of the river Brahmaputra here. So the river Brahmaputra plays a crucial role for the Kaziranga National Park. It is actually itself. It is set on the banks of the river Brahmaputra.
So
So
when you're talking,
sometimes from the river itself.
so when you're talking about the five names, so you have elephant is number one. Then you have the buffalo. Then you have the rhino.
Buffalo.
Then you have the tiger
No.
and the lion.
Yes.
Is it?
No, not the lion. So the big five in Kaziranga National Park is after the elephant, we have this is the elephant on the banks of the river Brahmaputra. We have the swamp deer. This is the Barasinga, which is seen in Kaziranga.
Got it, yeah.
So that is the eastern swamp deer, and that is the big.
Yeah, Mayuresh. Mayuresh, we can't hear you. Your network is down.
So they will very big. They will get those 12 branches. That is the Barasingh. Total of 12 antlers together with the branches there. And they will fight for the mating rights for, with the female. And only one male will have like control of most of the females of the herd. So this is during the morning when the mist is rising, the silhouette of the swamp deer.
It's a beautiful
Then
sight.
we have the hog deer.
So early morning,
Deer.
What time this is? At around 6 in the morning?
Around it changes. Sometimes it is 4:30 in the morning till it goes to 6:30 also. So it changes because the time, like the sun rises earlier in the Northeast India, but we have the same time zone. It changes there, but we have the same time zone, and there is like a lot of difference that happens because of that. This is another deer found in Kaziranga, the hog deer. And we also have otters there. So this is a family of otters. They live in the Boro. This is from the banks of the river Brahmaputra. And you can see the babies there. And there are 3 adults there. And the mother otter is taking the baby on top of the sandbank because it cannot climb. So it is carrying each baby into that burrow there. And we also have a national aquatic animal, that is the Gangetic dolphin. So it is a river dolphin, and they are very rare and endangered, and they are found in the Ganga and the Brahmaputra river in India. So Brahmaputra is one of the best places to see them, but taking a picture of the dolphin is very difficult because you never know where they are coming out from. So you have to be lucky enough to capture the dolphin.
What is the uniqueness?
Blind dolphins.
What are the uniqueness of this dolphin?
So it is a blind dolphin, and it is not it's a ocean dolphin. It is a freshwater dolphin found in the river, and it will stay in the muddy water, and it will hunt on sonar, and it's completely like earlier during the evolution process. These ocean dolphins came inside the river, and then they got stuck there, and they evolved to live inside the river. And it is a mammal. Yes.
Nice. Okay.
So then there are some bird photographs which I've captured there. This is the Khalij pheasant. Then we have the parakeets here. But if you look carefully in the corner here, you will see that there is a monitor lizard there. Head of the monitor lizard in the right hand corner down there.
Right hand corner, yeah.
So that is actually coming to hunt the cheeks or the eggs of these parakeets. So that's how it works for these creatures. So they will be very wary of the monitor, which is their enemy. Then we also have a great hornbill which is tossing a berry here. and we have eagles like the white-tailed eagle, which is a migratory bird. But that eagle is being chased by a jungle crow.
आवाज येत का नाही बघ ना.
So the jungle crow is chasing the eagle away. Then we have eagles like the gray-headed fish eagle. We have the Asian barred owlet. We have different parrots, that is the red-breasted parakeets, which are seen there.
Yeah, these are very beautiful.
Yes, so this was all Kaziranga, but I was also lucky to document the wildlife of entire Northeast. So I was, the Northeast India is known for its primates. So we have only 8 in India, that is the Hulov gibbon, and this is the Western Hulov gibbon, which is found in the Northeast of India. They are endangered species.
Do these guys attack because you're so close to him?
No, actually it came down. They are very shy, very shy, but it came down this particular individual just to inspect. And I was taking a wide angle lens and I captured it with the habitat.
That's why, okay. Because I was wondering how dangerous is he?
Yes, they are not dangerous. Then we have a pig-tailed macaque. So this is the male of the species. I've captured a portrait of it feeding on the leaves.
Beautiful.
So there are many sanctuaries there in Northeast where you can see all these primates. So here you have the male of the Hulov gibbon, which is black, and the brown one is the female. And then we have golden langur, which is one of the most endangered primates in India. We have 25 most endangered primates in the world. This is one of them. And this is found in the Northeast. So I have done a big story on the golden langurs. I've also documented them and made a video about them. I'll share the links in the end. So I've captured this in Assam. So they are only found in Assam and some parts of Bhutan. Then this is like a golden langur, the similar fur, but on top of the head, you have a cap-like structure. So that's why it is known as a capped langur. That is also seen there in Northeast.
Wow.
Yes. Then this is butterflies. At a stream near Guwahati itself, I captured this butterfly at the stream. One more photograph of the close-up of wings of a butterfly. I was on the river constantly, so I was able to document a lot of wildlife near the river itself. So turtles are plentiful there. There are around 17 species of turtles found in Assam, and they are found in the Brahmaputra. So this is one of the Indian tent turtle on the banks. Then this was the Northeast of India. I also documented, like I have traveled across India, so I've been to the Himalayas. So I've been to Ladakh and I have been to Eastern Himalayas. So there I have captured these photographs. So this is the cloud forest of the Himalayas. So this is in near Darjeeling. Above that, Sandakphu, which is where we have the Kanchenjunga.
So this is at a, this is the highest, very high. This is you're at what, 10,000 feet up?
No. I'm below. Yeah, I think almost that. So this is the base camp of the Sandakphu. You above that you will go towards the base camp where you can see the Kanchenjunga.
Okay.
So from Darjeeling you have to go up towards the Eastern Himalayas. So that's the cloud forest there, evergreen forest and misty nature sometimes. And this is a Milky Way which I have captured in the in Ladakh. So you have very clear skies there. Beautiful. You can actually see the stars there in the night. So I've captured that there. So this is the wildlife from there. This is a roller which is sitting in the Eastern Himalayan landscape with the Himalayas in the background. Then this is a hornbill found in the Eastern Himalayas, which is the rufous-necked hornbill.
So this is a very different type of a hornbill actually.
Yes. Oh, sorry. Yeah, very different type of hornbill. Endangered species only found there. And if you see the hornbill, you will have lines on the beak. So these lines actually define the age of the hornbill. So 5 lines means 5 years old.
Wow, that's news.
Yes. So this is the male of the species. The female looks a little. Then in that Sandakphu region, the main reason to go there was to see the Himalaya, the red panda. So we have a red panda also in India, and that can be seen in the Eastern Himalayan region.
So what are the different types of pandas? Because the standard white panda with the black is what we see. So what is the other type of pandas?
this is the red panda, and that is the black and white, that is the giant panda. So these are the only two pandas that are found in the world. But this one is completely different. It's like a raccoon, actually. If you know a raccoon. So
It's very
yeah,
small.
so it looks like that. So you know Mozilla Firefox? So the Firefox
Yes.
logo is actually based on the red panda. So that's the red panda, one of the cutest animals, and you can only see there. It's quite rare. I had to trek there in the Himalayas to photograph it. Then in Ladakh, I captured this rodent species, which is known as the marmot. So this is near Pangong Lake. I captured this marmot. Now we come to the Western Ghats of India. So I've been lucky because staying in Mumbai, you can just go to the Western Ghats, and from Mumbai it starts. So this is actually from my backyard, that is Yeur Hills, that is SGNP, Sanjay Gandhi National Park. This
Yeah.
particular bird, that is the Oriental Dwarf Kingfisher, this is carrying food for its babies. Then we have the Indian Paradise with a long tail. So this is a winter migrant, and this actually you can see in city itself. If you have a very nice green cover around or just trees, in winter these all birds will come and migrate. Just look out of your window and you will see that bird. Even in Dadar or in Vile Parle, you can see these birds. I've captured this photograph in Mathera, but you can see this Indian Paradise flycatcher with a very long tail like a ribbon in our city itself. It's a winter migrant, comes from Himalayas during winter to our region. Then this Indian blue robin, again captured in Mathiran, and these brown wood owls captured in Mathiran. Recently I was there and I captured them there. So we go to Mathiran, we'll go to enjoy there. We go maybe just to see the points, we'll enjoy the nature there. We'll have some parties there. But if you look beyond that, there is nature, there is wildlife, there are birds, there are small animals, there are snakes, everything is around you. Just you have to look for that. So in Matheran also, which
So
is just like an hour away.
even with a flash, these owls don't fly out.
No, this is not a flash, this is a torch light.
Okay.
But yeah, you need to know how to approach. Once they get accustomed to you, they will not fly away.
Okay.
Yes. And I was also lucky to capture some endangered species of frogs in the Western Ghats. So our Western Ghats is like a biodiversity hotspot, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The animals that are found there cannot be seen anywhere else. So these frogs seen only in the Western Ghats and only in small pockets. Beyond that small pocket also, you might not see it anywhere. So this is a Jairam's bush frog. That was a tree frog. This is a Jairam's bush frog. This is the size of a thumb, actually. And it is blowing that bubble during the monsoon to attract the female. So other times they will be hibernating, but during the monsoon they will be active and they will call out for mating for the female. Like a very small, size of a thumb. Again, a very small frog. This is the false gliding frog found in the Western Ghats. And I've captured the habitat of the frog. So they are always found near small streams or water bodies. Some are tree frogs. Like this one is a tree frog. This one is found near water bodies. So this is a golden bagged frog found in the Western Ghats with the stream there. And we have colorful lizards. Actually, some we get like we'll feel or we'll feel like we'll feel very different when we see lizards or something. But there are some amazing colorful species which can be seen.
There are some quite a bit of colorful lizards that I've seen. So they are quite amazing.
Yeah. Yes. So then we have a colorful lizard called fan-throated lizard. This is seen in the plateau region of Maharashtra and Karnataka. This individual is active in the breeding season, that is April and May, and it will display this fan to attract the female. So it has this colorful flap on its neck.
Actually, most of these type of insects, if you see that which are vibrant and colorful, are the males attracting the females, and they either have a fan or they have something to display to attract the female.
Yes. So this lizard is actually, I have captured this in the middle of the city. So in Pune, there is a small hill, and there you can see this lizard. So other places also you can see, but the point here is that if you just look near your backyard, or if you go out and just check the hill near your area, you might stumble upon something beautiful. This is a chameleon captured in the Western Ghats, and a snake which I have captured in Mathiran, the bamboo pit viper. So this is a venomous snake. So usually the venomous ones will have a vibrant color. So the predators like the birds would know that you don't have to go and attack this animal or this reptile, because they are venomous, and if they ingest that, it might cause a problem to them. A wine snake, but this is semi-venomous. This is not harmful for humans. Again, captured in Mathiran.
Wow, beautiful. This is all in the night, huh?
Yes, night photography. This is Nilgiri Thar. So we have ibex kind of creatures found in the mountain goats found in the Western Ghats. This is Nilgiri Thar, which is a very endangered species, only found in some places in the Western Ghats.
But these are the guys who are always in, these vertical mountains.
Yes.
Like you will find them in Jim Corbett.
No, in Jim Corbett, there you have the Himalayan Thar, maybe.
Correct.
In near Uttarakhand region, but in the Western Ghats you have this Nilgiri Thar. So this, and in upper region of the Himalayas also you can find these ibex kind of creatures, mountain goats, different types. Then we have the Nilgiri Langur, which is found in the Western Ghats, and the lion-tailed macaque with the baby there. So these are actually found in only small pockets. They are very endangered. So they have a tail like a lion and they have a mane like a lion, but they are named after the tail of the lion. So this is like documenting wildlife. This is a close-up of all the animals, or a little different shots. But I've also done creative photography of nature. So it's not just you have to like capture the subject, you can do some creativity here as well. So this is a cat snake, and I have lighted it up from below, so a different kind of a perspective you will get. So this is captured in the night, so that's how
So this is more like I would say what, art photography?
Creative art kind of photography. Like this one also, it's a composition. It's a scape. This is a big bird, but the tree was so big that, and the red flowers, so it was a little high key photograph, like where you increase the white background because it's completely white. So you increase that, and then you expose the subject with the available colors. Are there. So there is red and black here with the white. Then these are tadpoles of the frog. They are swimming inside a small pond, but it looks like they are like flying in a galaxy with the stars here. So that's how I've tried to imagine this shot.
Very beautiful.
Then
the dragonfly. Wow.
Dragonfly is only the wing pattern. So you have so many different patterns in nature itself. You can take so many inspirations from there. So this is just the pattern of the wing of the dragonfly. Then a very creative silhouette of the vine snake, just to give the effect of the sense of the place. The place was quite misty. This is in Amboli, which is the Western Ghats near Savantwadi, Goa. You can find these vine snakes there with the mist there. So that's what I've tried to capture here. Then this owl was actually hunting insects in the night near the city of Guwahati, where I was stationed, and I could see that it used to come in the evening. So I tried to get the sunset with the bridge which was there in the background, with the owl sitting there looking for insects. Brown hawk owl. Again, a pattern of the tail of the chameleon, with the curl of the tail and the nice pattern of the chameleon's tail. And a different type of creative portrait of the chameleon with the light from behind.
It's like another silhouette. Yeah.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Backlit. Yes. And you also have a chance to capture some action in wildlife. So you also capture something like a small spider which hunts a small fly. So this, you can imagine, this is the hibiscus flower. And on top of that, the spider is sitting, the crab spider, and it is eating a very small fly. So it looks like a crab. That's why it is known as a crab spider.
So that this is where you get into your macro photography.
Yes, this is macro. Also, a jumping spider with the housefly kill. So this was in my window. And a dragonfly being devoured by the ants. A snake eating fish. This is a checkered keelback. On the bank of the river, it went into the water, hunted that fish and came up. And then a mongoose devouring a spotted deer. So this spotted deer is actually killed by a tiger, but it has left the kill for some reason. But there are scavengers like the mongoose, and they will come and eat these things. So we come to the last part, that is conservation photography. So it's not just about a pretty picture, it is also about telling us reality of today's time. The habitat of wildlife is being taken away. We are constantly cutting the trees. We are taking away their wetlands. Everything is going. We are hunting them down. So that is the major problem that we face today. So we all love to see wild animals. We love to see them on Discovery, National Geographic. But we also have to realize that as we increase our population, we are taking over their habitat. They don't have any place left to go. We are constantly encroaching, and in the name of development, we are building facilities for us, but we don't realize that the planet is not just for us, but they are also the equal residents of or equal part of that. So that's what we try to convey through this, that you start loving these creatures, but you also understand the problems that they face, and you put them in front of the world, so some action can be taken by the decision makers. So I did a story on the greater adjutant stocks, which are found on a dump yard in Guwahati. There are just 1,200 left in the world, and you can only see them there. So they are living there just for food, and most of them can be seen there, but this is like the last island that they have, and that is being taken away by the dumper. Even here you can see a rag picker or a waste cleaner who is taking away the waste. They are not bothered by that. They are sitting there and they are feeding. Then we also take highways through these parks or through these forested areas, but we don't realize that the speed will kill these animals because it's their home, and they try to cross from one end to the other, and we are going inside their home, and then we kill them. Even in Mumbai, when leopards venture into buildings, we say, oh, leopard has come in our area, but it's not true. The truth is that we have ventured into the leopards over the forest, so they have no place to go. So that's why it's very important to show what the reality is. So that's what we do through conservation photography. I've also, obviously, everyone loves to see big cats. So I've documented big cats. This is lion from the Gir National Park, and the tiger, the Royal Bengal tiger. This is from Ranthambore, drinking water.
So that's quite a stare at you when you were clicking him.
Yes. A royal pose. Then in the habitat, how the habitat is there in Ranthambore, and the kill. So I've also documented a tiger feeding on a wild boar. This is raw nature. Very difficult or very rare to get these moments in the wild. It's like hardly, it's all depends on your luck. Once in a lifetime opportunity I got in Ranthambore, when this tigress dragged a wild boar and took that, and I had a meal on that. And we come to the last part, that is the golden tiger. A tiger that is very, very rare, and it is the only individual which is found in the world. So I was lucky enough to get a glimpse of this golden tiger in Kaziranga National Park. So what is a golden tiger? It is not a new species. It is the same Royal Bengal tiger that is seen in India, but a golden tiger is born due to inbreeding. So if same blood related animals like blood related tigers breed together, then there will be a genetic anomaly that comes into nature, and that is this golden tiger. So there were previous records are from 1900s,
So this is
but
a
there was
female?
no.
Is this a female?
This is a female.
And there's only one female which exists in the world?
Yes, wild one.
Ah.
In zoos you can see them. They are inbred just so that the zoos get more tourists to increase the attractions, like a liger or like a inbreed between Amur tiger, that is a Russian Siberian tiger, with Indian Royal Bengal tiger. You might get something like this. But in zoos, it is all artificially done insemination, which is happening. But in the wild, it is very difficult to see such a thing. So this was seen in Kaziranga National Park, and I have captured this there on the banks of the river Brahmaputra. No other individual has been recorded yet in the wild. This is the only one, but it is not a sign of happiness, because the main reason is that they are inbreeding, and the reason for that is lack of more tiger corridors or habitats for them to move around. Usually, tigers will not mate with their blood relatives, but they will go up beyond their territory, establish a new territory, and breed with other individuals in that territory and increase their population. But if they don't get to move around, if they are restricted due to some reasons, the reason here is the increase of human population, encroachment, and lack of tiger corridors which connect Kaziranga with other parks, other areas of tigers. Like tigers are known to travel from maybe Tadoba, they will travel to Pench or Kanha. Something like that happens.
Right.
It has happened. So just so that they can breed and increase their population. But in this case, the parents here were not like able to move, and a sister, like a brother sister mated, or the father and a son, father and the daughter, and son and the mother, something like that has happened here, and that's why a tigress like this has been born. So this I've captured in the Kaziranga with the habitat. You can see the grassland here and the Brahmaputra river here. So that is all about wildlife photography.
What a
So
beautiful
if you have
story.
any questions, you can let me know.
Mayuresh, I think the photography is fantastic. The story is also beautiful. I think it's a fantastic story to tell, not only to the adults, but also to the kids. They get to learn a lot. And are you doing sessions for kids? Are you doing something in schools or in colleges or something like that?
Yes, I have done during this lockdown. Actually, a lot of these sessions were happening, and because of that, I started presenting the work that I was doing to a lot of audience. So the kids who were staying at home or participated. There were, especially for kids also, something like this happened, or the people who wanted to know about nature. I was not just doing wildlife, but I've been to Assam and I've captured the culture there. So I was able to show that the river Brahmaputra, the lifestyle there, the civilization there. So I could show that as well there. So I've been doing these sessions for colleges as well.
Fantastic. Yeah, superb. Thank you very much, Mayuresh. It was a beautiful 1 hour session. I know, if we had more time, there could have been a lot more to be discussed. Because we have got one more speaker today. We've got Kaushik come in and to chat us. Thank you very, very much. Lots of gratitude to you for this time spent. And I will be putting this up, and I'll share the link, so that you can then share it further, as how we will be sharing it further in our circle of people, Guys, anybody would want to ask anything to my...
Is there a... Oh, yeah, that's what I was looking for. If there is any Instagram handle or stuff, we can follow.
So if you want prints, I also do fine art prints. You can always contact me for that, for your office space or for your homes, anywhere. And you can always stay connected with me. You can, if you have any questions regarding any national parks, if you want to travel somewhere, if you want to go to Assam for wildlife, or if you want to go to Meghalaya or any place in Northeast, I have good contacts. I will set you up. I can do the arrangements for you as well.
I think what people need to do is, we need to first look at in Mumbai what we can do first.
Yes, definitely.
So that's something which BNI Premier, we can do a nice outbound event where we look at...
you can do a bird walk.
Absolutely.
Or a small nature walk kind of thing.
So Mayuresh, we'll look at discussing this with you in the coming months, because winter is the right time for doing something like this.
Yes.
So we will touch base with you, and thank you very much once again, Mayuresh, for this beautiful session. Thank you very much. Yeah.